Well, we have some breaking news. Within the last hour, we've been advised that the jurors in the Lauren Kransky case, this is the first of more than 10,000 cases in the country to be tried, ASR cases, jury came back with a verdict of $8.3 million. It was a very interesting verdict. The verdict is made up of what we call compensatory damages, but did not include any punitive damages. The plaintiff's attorneys in the case had asked for about $380,000 in medical expenses and $5 million for pain and suffering for Mr. Kransky. But what ended up happening, they also asked for $175 million in punitive damages. Now, the difference between punitive damages and compensatory damages are that compensatory damages are designed to compensate the plaintiff for his actual out-of-pocket damages. So for pain and suffering and items like medical expenses. Punitive damages, on the other hand, are damages that are awarded to punish a defendant. And punishment is appropriate when it's determined that a defendant hurt somebody intentionally or acted with reckless disregard. Now, when this case was tried, from all the testimony and evidence that I had seen in the case, I thought the case for punitive damages was very strong. There was lots of documents indicating that DePuy knew there were problems with this hip early on, and really didn't take any action to fix the problem. And actually, there were documents indicating that the reason they didn't do that was for economic reasons. So I was very surprised that the punitive damage award that came in was essentially zero. I thought there would definitely be punitive damages. But on the other hand, the compensatory damages that were awarded I thought were very high, higher than what I would expect. Mr. Kransky, although he was having problems with his hip at the time, he had a host of many other health problems that were plaguing him the entire time he had this hip. He had cancer, he had heart problems, he had many other problems as well. And so I thought the jurors would discount his sort of pain and suffering element because he was already in a lot of pain and suffering at the time he had this hip, for reasons that were completely unrelated to the hip. So when the jurors came back, they actually awarded almost $8 million in pain and suffering damages when the plaintiffs had only asked for $5 million. So it's an interesting verdict. I think it's a very good verdict for anyone who has an ASR case that's pending. This really does set a standard for what these cases might be worth going forward. There are other cases that are going to be tried. One started yesterday in Chicago. And, you know, DePuy faces the risk in every single one of these cases that a jury could award punitive damages. And when you look at DePuy's net worth and sort of the considerations that go into what a punitive damage award could be, any one of these 10,000 cases could result in a punitive damage award almost that is more than $200 million. So it is something that I think this verdict, even though there were no punitive damages, it's not the kind of verdict that I think DePuy can take a lot of solace in. And it actually is, I think, a good verdict for plaintiffs, considering all of the issues that Mr. Kransky had with his case. He had, like I said, he had a lot of health problems, and there was a real distinct possibility that there could have been a defense verdict where the plaintiff would receive nothing. Most cases that are out there, of the more than 10,000 cases that are out there, 90% of them don't have the problems that Mr. Kransky had in his case. So it'll be interesting to see what happens in the next trial, and it may take a few trials before DePuy finally comes around and decides it's time to attempt to resolve these cases that are sitting out there. So that's where we are. If you have a defective hip or you have an ASR hip, feel free to give us a call. We have hundreds of clients that we represent, individuals with all kinds of defective hips. Our phone number is area code 916-448-9800, and you can ask for me, Stuart Talley, when you call. Or you can reach me through Skype. We do video conferencing, and it's free, so if you're anywhere in the country, we can talk to you face to face. My username for Skype is Stuart Talley, and that's S-T-U-A-R-T, Talley, T-A-L-L-E-Y. Or visit our website. We have put together a website that tries to answer a lot of questions that our clients have about cobalt and chromium and the toxic effects that they can have on your body. We have 3 hours of video interviews with expert toxicologists talking about cobalt and chromium. We also have many peer-reviewed medical journal articles on our website that hopefully can answer any questions that you have about the issue. That website is www.cobalt-chromium-toxicity.com.